Hello guys and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is episode 3 of my vlog, and in today's session we're playing Brookie Hotel cash game 1-1 again. This session's very exciting. I get a lot of hands and we do play some pretty fun PLO bomb pots at the end of the session. I really like this session because I really like the way that I played. There's a lot of fun spots in here and I'm sure you guys will enjoy it. So yeah, we'll get into those hands now. Thanks for all the support from all the other videos. And yeah, I hope to keep this consistency with all my video posting and stuff and keep it up for your guys' entertainment and my progress in my poker journey. So yeah, enough talking. Sorry for that little rant, but yeah. Okay, to the hands now. Okay, so back in this video, we're playing at Brookvale Hotel, another 1-1 cash game. We are buying in for $300 and we've got an extra $200 chips in our pocket just in case we wanted to rebuy. So, interesting session coming up. And what better hand to start than with pocket aces of the red variety. We open it up to $8 and we get one caller, two callers. Heading to a flop now of Jack 7-4 Rainbow. So this big blind ends up checking. I decided to c-bet on this board for $20. Sizing up a little, trying to get as much money in this pot with my big overpair. But unfortunately, they both fold. We show aces, letting everyone know that this is going to be the type of night that we're running. In our second hand for the night, we peel ace-5 of clubs in the $2 shuttle. We get a few limpers around before it gets back around to the button, who decides to raise it up to $15. Folding back around to me, I decide with my suited ace it's good enough for a call, so we stick it in as our opponent gives us some funny table talk. Going to the flop out of position, the board comes out Jack 5-8 Rainbow. We're sitting with bottom pair, so we decide to check it over to the pre-flop aggressor, see what action he takes. He bets for $30. Sitting in a bottom pair here, knowing that he could be getting out of line or have a variety of hands on the button, we decide to stick in the call and we lose the customer. The turn is a bink 5 of spades, so now turning trips, knowing that we most likely have the best hand. Once the button leads out for $50, I do contemplate whether to raise or not, but I think feeding in the rope, just sticking in the call here is the best way to get more money in. Knowing that this player has been showing strength the whole hand and will probably be firing the third bullet. And what do you know? The river comes another 5. So we river quads, and this is the moment where we set the trap, hoping that the opponent will stick the rest of the money in. And as he sits there and tanks, he starts to grab his chips, and we end up hearing those two beautiful words.
Call. I have quads.
Quad's good.
Jesus Christ.
I like it, Tom. So for some of you that don't know Tom, he's an absolute crusher. And if you can't see here, he's showing me 10-8 for absolute air. Tom's a really fun player, always willing to get in the mix, and he brings a lot of action. You can look him up on Hendermob. I think he's got like 250,000 or so in live earnings. So him coming down to these games, putting us all in spots is always fun and very good entertainment for the vlog. So thanks, Tom, for that pot. And stick around because we do get into more pots with him that are very exciting. So I'm excited for you guys to watch those.
Yeah. The vlog gets paid. The vlog gets paid.
So yeah, big double up coming early in the session. Rivering quads. So yeah, $620 pot coming my way. So not even an orbit later, we end up peeling big slick. We raise first in pot to $10 and we get a few callers around as we head 5 ways to the flop, which comes out better than average for us with Ace King 6 Rainbow. Flopping top 2, we decide to c-bet here for $20. The person to our left ends up putting in the call. Tom ends up folding, and then the player to my right sticks in the call as well. Going to the turn, which is another king. So turning a boat, thinking in my head if I just had a lonely ace, I'd probably not like that turn, so I do check. The player to my left bets 35. The player to my right calls, and knowing that they can have a variety of hands, I just end up calling as well. Looking back on this play, I do feel like I need to be check raising here a lot more often, trying to put more money in this pot. But in real time, knowing that the player on my left wouldn't be bluffing in that spot, I do put him on a king, so I do expect him to barrel the river. But he doesn't do so, checking it back, now showing my ace king, a bit frustrated that I missed out on value, but still taking in this $216 pot. In this next hand, what do you know? Another premium, ace queen. We end up 3-betting to $20 after an open and a flat. We get flatted to the left of me on the button, which is fine. We get another call from the initial raiser, and then the other limp bar sticks in the call as well. So going forwards to a flop, we do brick. It comes out jack 7-9, 2 clubs. So sitting on this board, I think my bet here is a bit loose. I think I can get away with just checking here, but not getting raised here actually makes me feel a bit better, knowing that I am getting respect for my raised pre-flop. I do get another caller, and then the guy to my right, the hijack, actually goes all in for 53. So not being able to fold for that price, knowing that we're probably not good here, I do end up sticking in the call, and so do the other two players. Heading to the turn of the deuce of diamonds. So we absolute air here. We get the big blind to check. I check in the cutoff, and then the button ends up betting $150. So that's the end of the hand for me. Looking at ace queen, chucking that in the muck, and the button ends up showing a set. So the all-in player is actually drawing dead, and yeah, unlucky to my opponent. Good spot for him, $290 going his way. And hopefully we can get some money back with pocket queens. So we've got a shuttle to $2, and we end up raising it to 15. Sizing up a bit here, out of position. We kind of want to disincentivize shifty hands coming in this pot. We get 2 callers, one from the small blind and then the initial shuttler. We go to a flop of king 4 deuce, rainbow. So kind of scared of the king, knowing that it's better for my raising range. I do decide to c-bet for a third pot, another $15. We get the small blind to fold, but then the shuttler calls. The 10 of spades is a bit worrisome. I decided not to barrel on this turn card specifically, and I do check. This river is kind of interesting with the jack of spades. The under the gun ends up leading up for $25. I thought about it for a second, bluffing, knowing that I have a blocker to the nuts, but I do end up just letting it go, knowing my players are tight knit, massive knit. So yeah, $100 going his way. This next hand gets a bit dicey with pocket 8s. We have an initial raise to $15 from the under the gun player, and we get a flat here. The under the gun player only has $55. Sitting with pocket 8s, I'm happy to 3-bet to $55, putting him all in. And he does end up sticking in the call, but to my surprise, the player to my right also calls. So didn't expect that, going 3-ways to a flop of 9-4-3 rainbow. Sitting with this board, I do feel comfortable c-betting, knowing that he shouldn't have a 9 too often. I bet $30, but he snaps me. So a few alarm bells ringing, but with this type of turn card, the 5, it's a pretty big brick, so trying to fold out all of his overcards, I do continue betting for $40. Thinking that this will finally fold out all of his overcards, but when he does stick in the call, alarm bells are ringing, so I think I'm going to have to slow down the river. And it does come the jack of spades, so that is a picture card that he may have been holding on to, jack 10. And he checks it and I check it back. We show pocket 8s and he mucks. The under the gun player shows ace kings for absolute air and raking in this pretty sizable pot, so pretty good for pocket 8s, $307. Feeling good and running it up, so we look at our next hand with pocket 7s. Pretty good pocket pair, back-to-backs. We're sitting in a $4 shuttle now. This game's getting a bit out of hand. We get a few limpers and we decide to raise up to $30. We get a caller from late position, and then Tom in the small line decides to 3-bet me to 120. So his limp re-raise here to me is pretty strong. I'm not sure where I'm at, so I do decide to let it go. As you can see, he looks a bit frustrated with my fold. Trying not to get too out of line, flatting here, trying to get curious of what he has, not trying to give his money back that he gave me early on in the session. We'll go to the audio as he shows me what he 3-bet me with.
Flops I like. There's not many flops I like.
Show him one.
Barry, still got one over.
So yeah, what did I tell you? Absolute beast. 3-betting me to $120 with 10-6. Yeah, this is the way that Tom plays. You'll never know. Very hard player to play, but very fun player to play against. Very good content. So in this next hand, what do you know? We peel aces once again, of the black kind this time. We have a straddle, so we end up raising it to $12. We get one caller, and then we get another caller from the big blind. Tom ends up letting it go, and we head three ways to the flop. The board comes out 9-8-3, two hearts. So with a flush draw out there, but pretty low cards, I do bet for $25. We get a call from the small blind, and then Chop ends up putting in the call from the big blind also. So heading to a turn of the 7 of hearts. The board is very wet now and very connected, but knowing a over pair can be good here sometimes, not wanting to give another free card, I do end up betting on the turn again for $60. Getting called by two spots here is pretty dicey, and especially when the 5 of hearts comes on in the river. So about every draw available gets there. About ready to give up on this hand now, knowing that we lose any straight or any flush. So yeah, but your mama didn't raise no bitch, so I end up firing the third bullet knowing that I could have the ace of hearts. I bet 160 into the pot, and we do get a fold from the initial small blind. This is the moment where I did think that I messed up, knowing that Chop was last to act. For those of you that don't know Chop, aka Mr. Never Fold, aka Mr. Call with the gut shot, aka Call with third pair, aka You Can Never Bluff Me, aka Mr. Rebuy. Nah, but yeah, you guys know that he is not one easy person to bluff. So when we do finally get the fold out of him, he shows that he had the 8 of hearts. So credit to him for tanking that long with the 8 of hearts. He actually had 2 pair until the river, then he had a flush. So I was losing. And when he does let go of the cards, that is a massive win for a massive pot. I'm so glad that it got through there. $453 gone my way. So after that monster overhand, what do you know? We peel pocket aces again. Back to back. 3 times tonight, 4 times tonight. I can't even remember. And what better, we get Tom in the cutoff to raise to $15. 3 bet him to $40, hoping that he's getting out of line one more time, thinking that we're printing money here. And what do you know? He 4 bets to $130. Oh my God, music to my ears. The loosest player at the tables 4 betting me. So I do end up putting in the 5 bets at $350, hoping that he's willing to get it in with pocket kings, ace king, or queens.
What? The vlog?
Yes, yes, yes. He's stuck in his whole stack. We're both sitting about $600-700 effective. As soon as he says all in, I snap call him, confident and ready to flip over my aces, knowing that we're in a massive pot with the best hand in poker.
Cool.
See, look at this guy. Tom always being the funny player that he is, saying that he's got aces in this spot. Let's see what he really had.
Same.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Bullshit.
You want to run it?
We can just fucking take it back. Just take it back, bro.
Take it back.
Yeah.
Bro,
what the fuck?
I'll run
There's
it.
no way going aces.
I'm happy to run it. You want to run it, Joe?
Up to you. Yeah, go. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it.
Boo.
Do it again.
Run it 5 times. 5 times.
So anyways, moving on to the next hand, we peel ace queen offsuit. We decide to raise it up or 3 bet the initial raise it at $20. We get an all in and we end up calling. So we decide to run it twice. I didn't fully see the run out, but my opponent shows king jack, and I think we hit an ace on the first board, and then the second board we hit a queen. So we end up stacking our opponent here, taking in this pot. Pretty good flip for around $60, so we'll take that. So in this next hand, there was a late position raise to $15, followed by a limp. So we did end up deciding to 3 bet up to $45 in this next hand with pocket aces, and we do end up getting called in 2 spots by the 2 late raises. We go to a board of jack 9-4, 2 hearts. On this flop, we decided to bet for protection. I don't like my sizing here. I think I went a bit big. I bet for $100, just hoping to get called by the late position short stack, but they both end up folding, and it's pretty good taking down to a single bet post flop, considering they both called $45 pre-flop, so that was still a bit of money in there. So yeah, $150 pot coming my way. So in these next hands, we decided to play some PLO bomb pots. We all put in $5 pre-flop, and we're heading to a flop with King 9, 5, 2 spades. So sitting with King 9, 5, ace, double suited, we've got a backdoor flush draw, and we've got 3 pair, if you want to call it that. So when the under the gun +1 bets for $20, and then they get a call from the hijack, I decided to play a bit defensive here. I'm hoping to charge the draws the max in case they do brick. So I do pot it for $115, and both of them do end up sticking in the call. So going to the turn here of the 8 of diamonds, most straight draws got there, 6, 7. The flush draw is still brick, but I'm still not comfortable, so I do check it. And then the jack of spade comes in on the river. So about done with this hand now, knowing that if any other players bet, we tried our best to protect our equity.
Nice,
and once
man.
under the gun +1 bets for
JC, get me there
$200,
one time, bro.
we do end up folding. So $380 pot going his way, and he did show a flush. So we decided to do another PLO bomb pot, and in this hand we got King Jack 8 4, 2 spades, and we're going to a flop with Ace 4 Jack 2 spades. So sitting with the nut flush draw, our early position leads out for $25, I think, and then we get everyone to call around besides one. We get one folder there, and we're heading to the turn of the Bink 7 of spades. So we've now got the nut flush, and we do check it out of position to the flop raiser, who does follow through with a bet of $50. We get one caller from the seat next to him, and then we end up getting another one. So after having a bet of $50 and 2 callers, I do decide to get defensive again, and I do pot it, which is for the rest of my stack. And everyone does end up folding around, and we show them the nuts, and we're taking in this pot gladly. So yeah, $255 pot come my way. Thank you. Okay, so that's that for that session. If you got to the end of the video, thank you. We're in that game for $400, and we ended up cashing out for $635. So we profited $235. It was a very up session, like video wise, but I did lose a lot of smaller pots, calling bets pre-flop, missing, and then having to fold. So we didn't win as much as what we could have, but I'm still happy with the way that we played. We did book a profit, which is always a good thing. And yeah, I hope you guys liked the video. Like and subscribe to watch my next videos, which should be out next week, hopefully. And yeah, thanks for all the support again, guys. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.